little bit this side. Perfect. Om Narayanah Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyaya Sambhavam Andasyam Tastvime Lokaha Saptadvipa cha Medini. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Verse number 11. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
te deva bhavayantu vaha
te deva bhavayantu vaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
shreyah paramavapsyatha
shreyah paramavapsyayat
avapsyatha
avapsyayat
ishtan bhogan hivo devaha
ishtan bhogani vo devaha
dasyante yajna bhavitaha
dasyante yajna bhavitaha
tairdattan apradayebhyah
taidattan apradayebhyah
yo bhunkte stena eva saha.
yo bhukte stena eva saha.
So, last time we saw how Saha Yajnav Praja Srishtva Pura Uvaja Prajapatihi Uvaja. Prajapatihi said that I have given you the Vedas to play. Said to humanity, I have given you the Vedas to play, to grow and to be nourished. And this nourishment is physical and every other way, emotional, everything. But this nourishment has a philosophy. And the philosophy of nourishment is that when you nourish something else, then that nourishes you. Parasparam. So bhavayantaha means may you bring out the best in one another. May you nourish one another. Who is this one another? See, the Vedas were not given to the animals, right? To keep. Vedas were not given to plants either. And then Vedas were not given to insects or insentient things. Why were they given to human beings? Because this is a life of responsibility. The animals, plants, etc., they operate in a programmed way. They are all programmed by Bhagavan. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to, supposing somebody comes and mows them down, they don't know how to protect themselves. The tree cannot protect itself if it is cut. And small animals, we are not talking of big cats and all, even they are actually suffering because of climate change and everything. But even otherwise, the small animals also cannot really protect themselves. But the human being has buddhi, free will. Buddhi means free will here. So human beings has the buddhi, has the wherewithal to, and that discernment and the ability to choose to not make a mess of things. The animal doesn't have to be told, do not overeat. Correct? No animal has to be told that. Even a hippo, huge. Once I saw in one safari park or something. What is that called? Sanctuary, animal sanctuary. Whole loaf of bread. Through it. It opened the mouth. It was like as big as one of its teeth, the whole loaf of bread. But even that will not overeat. Hippo doesn't overeat. Dog, cat won't overeat. In fact, if something is slightly wrong, they will go under the bed and just stay there till they are better. They will not even look at food. But human being is the one who violates Bhagavan's order. When constantly, every minute of every day, every hour, there is a violation going on. And so therefore, because of this problem, the Vedas were given to human beings. Lo, padho, study this and lead your life in accordance to these do's and don'ts. Here Veda means the first part, also the second part we can take, but primarily that which has all the injunctions and prohibitions. Because they do ullanghanam. Ullanghanam means transgression is there. Because there is transgression, you need to be told. Animals don't transgress anything. The tree, mango tree doesn't say what is this, Grandfather bore mangoes, grandmother bore mangoes, I am also mangoes. I want to bear kiwi fruit. Or I'm tired of being in the forest. I'm going to take my family and go to the beach. It doesn't. Only human being violates, and so human being needs a list of do's and don'ts, which is what the first portion of the Veda is. And while giving it, the Creator did not say, bad, I know what you're going to do, and therefore you need the Veda. No. Anena prasavishyadvam. Please grow as a result of this. Please nourish one another. One another means here, have some compassion for the animals that cannot talk, that cannot share their pain. Don't contribute to their pain by running after them, killing them, eating them, whatever else we do, and abusing them, putting more weight on them than they are allowed, than they can physically bear. What are they called? Beasts of burden, donkeys, etc. Sometimes they just keep putting so many bags of sand and rocks and everything. Very bad. So, and then if it doesn't walk fast, they will flog also. They will beat, whip. And so all this don't do, because why? This whole thing is Bhagavan's dance. A dance of cosmic ecology. Cosmic ecology means a fine balance in which everything has a place. Every single thing in the universe has a place, has a time, has a purpose. And I have to lead my life. This is my dharma, swadharma, to lead my life in conjunction with this place, time and purpose. Vishesha dharma, samanya dharma, swadharma, all of them come here in this cosmic ecology. So therefore, the Prajapati, the creator, Ishvara, Brahmaji says, what does say? Devan anena. Anena means this. What is this? Veda. Anena, Vedena. So Veda here is called Yajna. Okay. Anena, Yajnena, Vedena. Bhavayata anena. Bhavayata. Bhavayata means nourish the environment. Nourish ecology. Nourish everything. And don't call it environment. What are they? Devas. We don't call it ecology. We don't call, even though we have words like that. We have words like Pancha Mahabhutani. But they are what? Devas. They come alive for us. Even though technically they may be insentient, They are the presiding deities of so many things. And so, when we look upon them as devas, there are 2, 3 advantages. One is, first, we are in the reality because they are connected to Bhagavan, they are the product of Bhagavan, and they are adhishthana devatas of various bodily functions for us. The Vayu is the adhishthana devata of so many things, prana, etc. Fire is the adhishthana devata of eyes and vak. Sun, which is a ball of fire, is the adhishthana devata of eyes. So, like this, there are so many devatas. 33 crore. And we can afford to have a few more also. We can come. In Hyderabad, there is, what is that? Visa Ganapati temple. Everybody goes to get visas there. And instead of lining up at the American consulate, first they line up at the Ganapati temple. Then there is all these diseases also. There is one AIDS Amma, also somewhere in Karnataka. So you can have, so anybody who is HIV positive goes there for blessings and to be relieved. Mariamma, same thing. This Mariamma, all these Grama Devatas, very powerful. So this is the deification of what is called everyday phenomena. But even to call it that, the tongue doesn't permit us because our thinking is not like that. Our thinking is they are Bhagavan. They are all sent by Bhagavan. They are the presiding deities of various forms and functions in the world and in our bodies. And then they have to be propitiated. Propitiated means worshipped. How do you worship the river? It's not enough to do Ganga Arati. That's one way to worship the river. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Gange. That's very nice. But then later on you throw everything into it. Including bodies that should not be thrown there. That is not worshipping. So here we have to have a new covenant of worship, a new understanding of what worship is. Worship is nurturance. And then nurturance means you want to bring out the best of the river. You want to bring out the best of the trees. You want to bring out the best of the forest, because everything in the forest talks to one another. You want to bring out the best of all of them. Why? Because when they thrive, you thrive. If they don't thrive, you also don't thrive. So if the water is fully polluted, first one body of water is polluted, then after that another body, and all the waters are polluted, how are we going to live? We can't live without the water. We can't say, oh, that river there, doesn't matter. It's not that river there or this lake there. No. It is that body of water is not separate from this body, 70% of which is fluid. Liquid. The earth is 70% water. This body is also 70% fluid. And so there is a connection, obviously. Same thing, if I just pollute the air with all my quick fixes, fast profit ideas, I pollute the air, then whose lungs are going to go? Mine. Nothing is going to happen to the air. Air was there before me, and the air Devata, Vayu Devata will have the last laugh. That's how it is. So therefore, Devan Bhavayata Anena. Nourish these devas, and then what will happen? Te devaha bhavayantu vaha. Vaha means for you. May they protect you, may they nurture you in turn. How? The rivers will not dry up, the air will not become polluted, the Prithvi, who is Vishwasya Dharini, who keeps up all the all the whole population of living beings. She upkeeps. She won't look like a cracked, dried, parched desert. Because if she is Sashya Shalini, as we say, Prithvi Sashya Shalini, and then we don't go hungry. This, even if we don't have Shraddha, Bhagavan says, doesn't matter, at least make this utilitarian connection. I don't touch that, because if I touch that, then it will come back to me and bite me. So if you don't disturb something, that is dangerous. Rivers, they are all much more powerful. Vayu, it's all much more powerful. Fire, all these things. You don't disturb them and then hope to not have any consequences, because the order is such, if you disturb, then you will also get disturbed. So there is no way out of this. And so therefore, te devaha bhavayantu vaha. And even though one side is only given, you nurture them, they nurture you. We have to read into that what? If you don't nurture them, what will happen? They will not nurture you. If you don't nurture them, they will also not nurture you. Simple, logical. It is not said out of politeness, that's all. Or Bhagavan thinks we are intelligent enough to figure it out, and that's why it is not sense. So, parasparam bhavayantaha, nurturing one another mutually. Shreyah param avapsyatha. Param Shreyah, you will attain the highest goal, the highest best goal. What is the highest best goal? Moksha. Moksha is the goal. So, moksha is the goal. So, the Vayu will also attain moksha. Vayu does not need to attain moksha. Vayu needs to attain moksha from your wrongdoings. That's what it needs. So, it is only for you. How will you attain moksha? You will attain moksha through Atmajnana. But this is a lecture, in these verses is a lecture from 11 to 16 or something, is a discourse on social responsibility, individual responsibility, collective responsibility. And so therefore, this has to be done. And if you do this, you will not be inhaling terrible smoke, and then you will have the space to think about moksha. Otherwise, if you are on oxygen, how are you going to think about moksha? That will be the last thought. So therefore, Bhashya, Devan, Indradhin bhavayata, vardhayata, make them grow here, Adi Shankara says. Anena yajnena. Remember last time we saw yajna means what? Yajna means yajna means Veda. Anena Vedena, we should translate. Te devaha, Vedena means not the book, the message in the book. Te devaha bhavayantu apyayantu. Apyayantu means may they protect. Vrishtyadina, may they protect you, may they increase you. How? Vrishtyadina. Vrishti means rain. Through rain, etc. Rain. And what does rain give? Crops, fresh water to drink, all these things. And unless, of course, it is acid rain, which is again our fault. And so bhavayantu vaha yushman. Vaha means yushman. Tvam yuvam yuyam, tvam yuvan yushman. Evam parasparam anyonyam mutually bhavayantaha. Keeping on nourishing, what happens? Shreyah param moksha lakshanam jnana prapti kramena avapsyatha. Swargava param shreyah avapsyatha. So through this you get moksha. Why? Because the raga dveshas are not there. You prepare for knowledge. You prepare for knowledge and then you get moksha. Or if you say Shreya for me is not moksha, I want to go to Swarga. Definitely you will go to Swarga. If you don't want moksha, definitely you will go to Swarga, because you would have done a lot of environmental conservation, and all that is punya karma. And so then you will gain through the attainment of knowledge, or it could even mean heaven. Moreover, it says Ishtan Bhogan. Ishtan means that which, that which is the Bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante. Ishtan Bhogan hi vaha dasyante devaha. So the gods will give back to you. Gods here means what? Adhishthana devata of all natural entities, phenomena, adhisthana devatas of everything in nature. So they will be quote unquote pleased. It's not that they are pleased and they are going to give you something, but when the tree is in full bloom, it's a sight to behold. It's wonderful. And when the bloom translates into fruit, it is something wonderful to eat and wonderful to have. And so, ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante. Who are these devas? Yajna bhavitaha, nourished by your prayers from the Vedas, nourished by your invocations, and most importantly, nourished by your actions of compassion towards them. They will bestow on you all the things you want. Ishtan bhogan, desired objects of enjoyment. And then, supposing when you get those bhogas, then what happens? Then you don't share. You get all nice things from doing all these prayers. You get some nice things and then you hide it. Don't share. Not for you, for me. Go. And then the Lord has a choice word for them. It's going to only get worse. All the words that Bhagavan is going to use. First he says, anybody who just hoards what nature gives. How much can you eat? You can eat this much. You know how much you can eat. But then on top of that, if you keep wanting more and more, even though you can't eat, you are putting it in the fridge. Then not satisfied, then you're putting it in the freezer. Then you're putting it somewhere else. And then you want to keep on preserving it for children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and all these things. It doesn't work because you already have as much as you're supposed to have. This man was there. One man, he had about 4 bags of rice. 4 gunny bags of rice. Ancient story. And then he and his wife would always fight because she was like, what is this? Always only 4 bags of rice. You keep giving things away, and it's not correct. You should keep on hoarding it, and you should not give it away. And the man was like, no, it'll come. And he would give away 3 bags, keep 1 bag for the family, and somehow the next day or the other day, some relative would send him a bag or something. He always had 4 bags of rice. Then the wife said, no, this is not enough. The children are growing up. We need more. Now, no more giving. No more giving. We are just going to anybody who came. She shut the door in their faces, did not talk to them, did not give them the rice. And before that, there would always be a queue in front of his house with a little bowl. He would just go and pour the bag, and then 1 bag he would keep. And then, then the man also thought it is no use to argue with her, because how much to argue? He also wanted a little POM. What is that? Peace of mind. So everybody was getting serious, so that's why I said that. So he wanted a little peace of mind. So he said, I'm just going to meditate, you do whatever you want. And then she just kept it like that. 1 week later, they found rats in the bags. They had eaten everything. Half of it was true and half of it was eaten, and the leftover had those creamies, those little thing. So all the bags had to be thrown away, except one. 1 bag was all right. And then her Ishta Devata, somebody she was praying to, I think Subramanya or somebody, came in her dream that night and said, this is what you're supposed to have. Even if you hoard, you will still have 1 bag of rice. Even if you give away, you will still have 1 bag of rice. This is what it is. And similarly, if we look at our own lives, this is how it will be. No matter how much money you give away, there will still be only that much that you're supposed to have. It will come back. If you're supposed to have it, it will definitely come back. So no matter how much food you give away, if you're supposed to have it, it will come back. So the food, clothes, anything. But then if you don't give, then it doesn't come back. Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi, is a social butterfly. She likes to visit different homes. Yeah, she likes to catch up on her visits. Here she wants to go in the morning for some chai to somebody's house, then she wants to go to somebody's house for lunch, won't stay. And then after that she'll go for tea to somebody's house, dinner to somebody's house, just a regular visit to somebody's house like that. If you try to imprison her, she will just escape. Because she doesn't belong to you. She belongs to who? Mahavishnu. She belongs to Mahavishnu. So Lakshmi is not just money. Lakshmi is abundance, resources, inner abundance. A person may be really fully, totally poor, absolutely poor, but heart has to be big. That's what Vedanta teaches us, that the heart must be big. When the heart is big, miracles happen. When the heart is big, the miracles will happen. And because there is no scarcity mentality. So the people who hoard, not only for me, they have scarcity mentality. And scarcity mentality is nothing, it just loops back into that sense of security, insecurity that is centered on the I. So sometimes we see that people who are not economically advantaged can afford to give more because they have less to lose. Nothing to lose. Okay, le jao. No problem. They are used to sharing, in a way. I'm not stereotyping, but sometimes that is what you see. And sometimes being of, having a lot of means can become burdensome. It's difficult to share, it's difficult to open up, it's difficult to give. And so here, this is what. So, te devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha. Definitely you will get enjoyment, you will get arthakama pursuits will be moksha was already discussed, and the whole discussion is about dharma. So arthakama pursuits will definitely be blessed. But then such a person is indeed a thief. Stena eva. Indeed, the person is a thief. Who is that? Yaha bhunkte, the one who eats up, enjoys. Taihi dattan, the gifts bestowed by these devas, adhishthana devatas, without offering them to others in return, or without offering even to them. There is no naivedya, the spirit of offering to Bhagavan is not there. And so such a person is as good as a thief. Because you forget the source from where it came. You think of yourself as the owner. You are not the possessor of them. And in fact, when you think of yourself as the possessor, they begin to possess you. This is what happens. And so therefore, yo bhunkte stena eva saha. And then, Bhashya, ishtan abhipretan. Abhipretan means invoked, desired, whatever has been wished for. Bhogan, the enjoyments. He wo yushmabhyam, for you, indeed, devaha dasyante, they will give. Vitarishyanti, they will distribute. Or what will they distribute? Objects. Stri. Why Stri? I don't know, because it's a man asking. Okay, so get me a wife. Okay, Stri, and then get me some cattle. What is that? Pashu. Get me cattle, because that was the sign of wealth. And then if you already have those two, then what do you not have? Child, putra, adi. Adi means house, etc. House, wealth, gold bars, gold biscuits, whatever, you know. Even biscuits are getting very complicated. And so, inedible biscuits. So, give me all of these things, you ask, and so they give. And then, so then they give. Taihi devaihi dattan bhogan apradaya adatva. Adatva. Anrinyam akritva. Anrinyam means without paying off the debts. Rishi Rinam is there. Pitru Rinam is there. Deva Rinam is there. 3 kinds of debts we are born with. Because this body, we owe to the parents, rishis, pitrus, and Bhagavan. This whole body, mind, sense complex, because of them they have come. This has come. And because this has come, I am able to pursue this knowledge. I have Guru Prapti, I have Jnana Prapti, all because of the utmost sacrifice done by the parents, their parents, their parents, 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 and all the rishis who brought this knowledge up till here. And Bhagavan, who is the cause of rishis and pitrus. So these 3 rinams, lifelong, you keep on giving back, you can never repay. But that doesn't mean you say, oh, I can never repay, so I'm going to stop. Very convenient. After all, I can't repay. So why continue, right? No need to continue. So, I can't repay, so therefore what? I won't continue. Why should I continue? Or in the beginning, I give back a little bit. So how do you give back these rinams? By being the kind of person they would like you to be. That is what it is. By growing to your fullest potential. And by giving. By giving. That's what it is. Bhagavan is pleased when you give back to the society, to people in need. This is what the Veda was given, for you to take care of the whole universe. All the animals and plants who can't speak for themselves, protect them, take care of them. And that was the purpose. And then this is how, so Anrinyam means, Anrinyam kritva, akritva means not paying off the debts. And then ityarthaha, ebhyah devebhyah yah bhunkte. So that which has come from these devas, the person bhunkte enjoys. How? Swadehendriyani eva tarpayati. Instead of giving tarpanam to the pitras, see what we give is the tarpanam. So with this finger you give like this, little water, ball of rice with til, sesame seeds and oil and everything. You give. Put it on a leaf and then you give. And so instead of offering, tarpayati means, so swadeha indriyani tarpayati. Tarpayati means gives tarpanam to himself, herself. Does not. Who should receive the tarpanams? The ancestors, because of whom you got this body. You're not supposed to scarf down everything. But here, one is just taking care of oneself. That's what it is. That's why when the food comes, you mentally pray. You sit in front of the food, pray. It takes what? Not even 1 minute. But what a difference it makes. You sit, and even in the Buddhist culture, they do that. They sit and they contemplate together silently where this food has come from. So let's say there is, I was part of this ritual in Japan. They called all the monks from every denomination, and so we went to their dining hall, and then so they say that, okay, so they put that tofu on the plate, some spinach, some other things, some little bit of some kind of bread or whatever was there, and some 2-3 other vegetables were there. And then each one, they would ring a bell. So first we are going to do nididhyasanam on tofu. So this tofu is grown in somewhere southern Japan, and then from there it comes. So the farmer farms it and then puts it, the women harvest it and then put it on the truck where it goes to possibly to these factories to process. And in these factory where it is opened and washed and cleaned and whatever they do to it, the juice the milk extracted and then made into this tofu curd, that all this, everything was contemplated. And then after that, you already felt full. You didn't feel like eating at all because it was just so beautiful to think of it like that. So about 15 minutes we spent just focusing on each thing and imagining how many hands have changed, how much hard work so many people have done to bring the food in front of me on this table. How much hard work has gone. And so eating it like that, even if I am not sharing my tofu with anybody, I did not give my tofu to anybody. In fact, they put it on my plate. But still, eating it like that is what? Is nothing but sharing. That is nothing but sharing, because already that acknowledgement of how much work has gone into it has entered the heart. And so the person who doesn't do that, swayameva swadehendriyani eva tarpayati. So without paying off the debt, gratifies. Tarpayati means nurtures, gratifies her or his own body, mind, senses. Stena eva. And if you don't know the meaning of stena, Bhagavan says taskaraha, another word for thief. Okay? Taskaraha eva saha devadi swa apahari. Dehadi swa devadi swapahari. So the person has erred against the devas, stolen the wealth of the devas. So this is what it is. And so this is the thing. And so therefore don't do this. Okay, so now what about the people who don't do this? Or actually continuing this, the other part will come later. So ye punaha, then again what do they do? Yajna, so the contrast is there. So those who don't do this and then those who do more things like this, both are given in verse 13. Yajnashishtashinas santaha muchyante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagam papaha ye pachantyatmakaranat. So some people, what do they do? Yajna shishta ashinaha, eaters. Ashinaha, ashnute, yaha ashnute, that one. And then, so the eaters, ashinaha, who are these people? Yajna shishta, means whatever is part of this giving. Giving is yajna here. Yajna shishta, like they take everything as a little bit of prasad after giving to everybody. So, I mean, this is just a gross example. Like after giving to everybody, you take what is left a little bit. That's what it is. You give away and then take what is little bit, whatever you want for yourself. Little bit means as much as you want, but not hoarding it. Okay, for tomorrow, for day after tomorrow, for day after tomorrow. That spirit is not there. So, yajna shishta ashinaha means whatever is left, like even this is a upalakshana, whatever is left by yajna, after the yajna is done, whatever is left is prasada. So that spirit in which people take things, in which people imbibe things in their life, muchyante, they are freed, sarvakilbishaihi, from all papas. Whereas the others who don't do that, bhunjate, they eat what? Agham papaha. They keep eating all kinds of papas. Ye pachanti atmakaranat. Those who only cook for themselves. This is very interesting, because right now we have all these nuclear families. Correct? Which is neither new nor clear to me.
That's a good one.
So, because, and then even the bartans means cooking vessels. Small. Yeah. Like we have that song, Small, small cows, small, small Krishna, small, small flute, small, small feet. That is cute. That's the song about baby Krishna. But this is not like that. You know, this is like a small bartan and only two people. And it's like we are even afraid to ask, is there anything left? Can I have? I mean, we are not talking of people who are poor and out of poverty they are cooking like this. No, we are talking of well-to-do people who don't want to waste, or I don't know what it is, but there is some kind of a scarcity in this. They don't behave like this when they are visiting other people's homes. There they help themselves nicely and everything. But when it comes to cooking, you know, whatever it is, providing, hosting, they suddenly get very, very, very economical, almost parsimonious. And so the rule of the thumb for cooking is that not that the Veda encourages waste. No. The rule of the thumb is that if there are 4 people in the house, you have one more extra mouth to feed. You have enough for just one more person, because that's not a waste. Next day it can be eaten, it can be finished off, it can be given away, whatever it is. It's, the Veda doesn't say make for another 10 people and keep. That would be a waste, because all that has to be thrown away. One more person. And even if nobody comes, you can give it to the cow or something like that. But in the olden days, this Atithi Yajna was a daily niyama. So you had to go out, look to the left, look to the right, and then say, is there anybody there? Please come. Please come and eat. And then there somebody, some stranger would come. You don't know who would come. And then they would this thing, what is that? They would come and their feet had to be washed and they had to be brought inside the house ceremoniously. They had to be first fed and then the Yajamana would eat. Yajamana and the family, the owners, the householder and the family would eat after the guest was sent away with dakshina and everything. And that's what it is. So, ye pachanti is a upalakshana. Pachanti means cook. Those who cook for themselves means what? Those who, in whose sights no one else is there. Cooking is not just one activity. Every activity they do like that only. Pujya Swamiji used to tell a very entertaining story. So there was this husband-wife, they had no children. And so they were so stingy, they did not want to feed anybody else. But you had to look to the left and right after going out of the door. So he would go out and whisper, is there anybody there? Is there anybody there for food? Obviously nobody would hear and he would quickly go and shut the door. Nobody came, okay, come on, let's eat. And the wife would cook only for them both and then they would eat. And this happened day after day. So one brahmachari who was in search of a nice house to eat, he would think, okay, wonderful smells are coming but I go from this house. But I don't see anybody ever going in. I don't see anybody coming out. What, they are not inviting or what? So he decided to hide next to the door, crouched, you know. Like a tiger he crouched, ready to pounce. And so the half-heartedly next day the lady of the house went. It was her turn to say. Even if the husband's voice was a whisper, she just made the lip this thing. There was no whisper also. And he just announced himself, pounced and said, I am there, feed me. She had a pained look on her face because she had made all favorite things for her and her husband, and there was not even one extra grain of rice. So what to do? So she, okay, come. And she thought of her. She said, okay, you sit. She made him sit and then gave him asanam and made him sit and then went to the kitchen to confer with the husband. And then what? The husband whispered, you know what? When they are not supposed to, brahmacharis, sannyasis, etc. are not supposed to eat in a house that has conflict. So we will pretend to fight, and I will pretend to beat you, and you will cry, "Mummy, Mummy, save me," and then he will just go away. And then, because we are not supposed to eat in a house of conflict, and when this uninvited guest who has forced himself upon us, when he goes away, then we will enjoy your nice sambar and everything that you have made. She is very happy. She said, "Yeah, I knew I married you for some reason. It's wonderful. You are so clever." So he takes one, what is that called? Balekandu. The stem of a banana tree, which was there. And he brings it into the house. And then he hits the ground with it. And he said, "Useless, worthless woman." And she says, "Amma, Amma, Amma, don't do that. You are an idiot. I should have never married you." This is all loudly in the kitchen so that the brahmachari can hear. And then the brahmachari says, "Ayyo, I can't eat in this house because this house has conflict." And the door also sound comes. And so then he goes away. And then what happens? They are very happy. They say, "Okay, don't even go into the living room. Here only we will put the leaves, banana leaves." So she spreads out 2 banana leaves. He says, "Okay, I'll just go lock the front door so that nobody else comes, and I will wash my hands and come." So before that, from the back door, the brahmachari, who had not really gone, he was lurking there. So the husband comes back. Unbeknownst to anybody, he was lurking there. So the husband said, "See how without beating you, I beat you?" And she says, "See how without crying, I cried." And then the brahmachari comes from the back door and said, "See how without going away, I came back." And so they are very dismayed. They had to go on half food because they had to share, and then they had to give. So all these stories exist because such people were there and continue to be there. Who are these people? Who cannot share, who cannot care, who cannot do this. And so, bhunjate te tu agham papaha ye pachanti atmakaranat. So, deva yajnadi nirvartya means completing sacrifice of towards Bhagavan, etc. Tat shishtam ashanam, the leftover prasada. Amritakhyam means which is prasada, which is called amrita. Ashitum sheelam yesham te. This is yajna shishtashinaha santaha. He is elaborating on the compound yajna shishtashinaha. So deva yajnadi nirvartya tat shishtam ashanam amritakhyam ashitum sheelam yesham te. Yagnashishtashinas santaha muchyate sarva kilbishaihi. Kilbisha means papa. And what are the papa? Chulyadi panchasuna kritaihi. Chulyadi panchasuna kritaihi papaihi muchyante. So every householder by compulsorily performs 5 kinds of papa. So Suna means slaughterhouse. Every grihastha has 5 slaughterhouses. Panchasuna. And what is that? Chulli. Chulli means chulha, stove. Because moths and all go, stove, gas, everything. Moths and certain small insects go and commit suicide. Chulli. Peshani. Peshani means grinding stone. Sometimes even with chutney, some non-vegetarian things comes. You don't know. So chulli, peshani, upastaraha. Upastaraha means some kind of a cutting thing, cutting device, like knife, etc. Chulli, peshan, upastaraha. Then what else is there? Then kandani. Kandani means pounding. That is 4. And what am I missing? Marjani. Yes, marjani. Sweeping, mopping. Sweeping, mopping means what? It's so many things go. Scurrying things, invisible things. So these are the called Panchasuna. Sweeping, mopping, that's one. Cleaning, sweeping, mopping, cooking. Chulli means cooking. And then before cooking, what do you need? Cutting. Yeah, cutting. And then grinding. And then pounding, like masalas and everything. We want our masalas. We cannot eat bland food. So in the masala, God only knows what all we are eating. And so so many things are killed in the everyday life. So therefore, these papas have to be washed off by prayashchitta karma. So this is pramada krita himsadi janitaihi papaihi muchyante. So these unknowing injuries, these 5 kinds of slaughterhouses. So the mop is a slaughterhouse, the jhadu, the broom is a slaughterhouse, and the knife, etc. is a slaughterhouse. The stove is a slaughterhouse for so many things. And then the pounding stone, mortar and pestle, that's why it's called mortar. It leads to death for something. It should be called mortal. Okay. Mort means death in Latin. So that's why it's called mortar. It leads to death for so many animals. And then the grinding stone also is a slaughterhouse. And so these 5 slaughterhouses are there in every house. Poor things. And so we have to do prayashchitta to be absolved from these papas. How to be absolved from the papas? This kind of, you share. You don't hold everything. You give away, give away, give away. The more you give, the more the papas go away. And then so all this injury, etc. is there for all these animals. Ye tu atmam bharayah munchante te atmam bharayah. Very nice. Atmam bharayah means Atma here is body-mind complex. So they keep filling that up. Atmam bharayah munchate te tu agham papam swayamapi papaha ye pachanti pakam nirvartayanti atmakaranat atmahetoho. So atmam bharayah means so they only fill themselves up, meaning selfish. They cook only for themselves, and then they accrue lot of papa. Itascha adhikritena karma kartavyam. So the adhikritena karma kartavyam means those who are enjoined to do karma must do whatever they are supposed to do. Otherwise the wheel of the chakra of the world of action and results of action set in motion by Bhagavan will not turn properly. And then you will accrue additional papa for not making it turn properly. Okay? And that's the idea. So, Jagat Karma, he's going to say that. Jagat Chakra pravritti hetuhu hi karma. What is karma? Karma is that following the script of the play in which you are thrown, which is the wheel set in motion by karma, karma phala, etc., which is the manifestation of Bhagavan. Katham iti uchyate. It is going to be told when? In the next verse. Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Anna bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha. Parjanyadanna sambhavaha. Yajñād bhavati parjanyaha. Yajñād bhavati parjanyaha. Yajñah karma samudbhavaha. Yajñah karma samudbhavaha. See, there is a wheel, there is a krama. So, annat purushaha means the human beings have been born of what? Food. And then where did the food come from? Rains. Food came from rains. And where did the rains come from? Our prayers. Yajñād bhavati parjanyaha. And where did the prayers come from? The prayers came from our actions. Prayers are born of our actions, and our actions our actions give rise to prayer, and the result of prayer is rains. And because of the rains, what happens? Food grows, and because of the food, I grow. Yeah, hopefully not sideways. Okay, so that is the idea. I grow, I get nourished, I get nurtured. I means everybody. And so like this, there is a connection between your prayer and the rains and everything. You are connected in a very, very big way to all these things. It's just beautiful. It's very amazing. We'll go straight to the Bhashya. Annad bhuktat. Adi Shankara says annad means not the anna that you keep in the fridge. Okay, bhuktat annad, the eaten food, food that is eaten. Eaten food, what does it do? Lohita reta parinatat, that which is converted into blood, majja, muscles, all these things. Reta, reproductive material, all these things. Because why does he mention reproductive material? Because that's how the praja keeps going. So this food is what is, the parents ate food, that is why this body is there. And then you can say that the parents ate food, and that's why the body of the offspring is there. The offspring eats the food, and then further offsprings are there. This is how the Kala Chakra goes, Jagat Chakra goes. And then so pratyaksham bhavanti jayante. Then parjanyad vrishtehe anyasya sambhavah, anna sambhavah, yajnat bhavati parjanyah. So then he gives a very nice Manusmriti, he quotes. Agnau prasta ahutihi samyag adityam upatisthate aditya jayate vrishtihi vrishter annam tataf praja. The offering made to the fire reaches Aditya Devata, sun, the Devata in the sun. And from that Devata proceeds rain. From the rain, food grows, and from the food, all beings come. Same idea is also there in Manusmriti, gives the citation also 376. So then, further, Yajnaha Apurvam. Yajna means Apurva. Apurva means only that, which is Punya Vishesha is called Apurva. Punya Vishesha. The specific kind of Punya is called Apurva. And then, so Yajnaha Apurvam Sahacha Yajnaha Karma Samudbhava Ritvig Yajamanayoho Cha Vyaparaha Karma Tataha Samudbhavaha Yasya Yajnasya Apurvasya Saha Yajnaha Karma Samudbhavaha. So, all he's just, explaining this. Yajna means that which produces punya, and it proceeds from the karma, which is the activity of the priest sitting in front of the yajna, and the yajamana who has hired the priest. That which comes out of this karma is called apurva, a special kind of punya. And also further, verse number 15, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi, brahmakshara samudbhavam, tasmat sarvagatam brahma, nityam yajne pratishtitam. This is the wheel he is describing. So the karma has come from Brahma. Brahma is Veda here. Karma has come from the Veda because it is only from the Veda we know what to do, what not to do. Okay, so karma, kim kartavyam, what should be done, has come from the Veda. And then Brahma akshara samudbhavam, and the Veda has come from Bhagavan. Akshara is Bhagavan. Jagat Karanam Brahma. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. And so this all pervasive, all revealing Veda is what always is always connected to yajna in the form of daily karma, etc. It's always connected to yajna. It's never close, it's never away from sacrifice. It's never away from sacrifice. This is what he says. And then so Sarvagatam means it is everywhere. It is in all walks of life. It is there, but it has a special connection with yajna. And so this is what we have to see. So karma brahmodbhavam, Brahma is Veda here. Saha udbhavam karanam yasya tat karma brahmodbhavam vidhi janihi. Karma originates from the Veda. Because Veda is a source of karma, know it to be coming from the Veda. That's all he says. Brahma punaha Vedakhyam akshara samudbhavam. Aksharam Brahma Paramatma samudbhavaha yasya tad akshara samudbhavam Brahma Veda ityarthaha. So because the Veda, which is called Brahma, originates from the imperishable Brahman, which is Ishvara, then this is so know this to be the top of the chain or the wheel of karma. Yasmat sakshat paramatmakhyat aksharat purusha nishwasavat samudbhavam samudbhutam brahma tasmat sarvartha prakashakatvat sarvagatam. Because the Veda comes from the from Brahman, therefore it is all revealing, because it is because the source, which is Brahman, is everything. So therefore Veda coming from Brahman, the cause of the Veda is what? Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Sarvagya and Sarvavyapi, all pervasive and everywhere and everything. And so the Veda is also everywhere, everything, and all knowing, all revealing. This is what it is. And then Sarvagatam api sat nityam sada yajna vidhi pradhanatvad yajne pratishtitam. Although all pervasive, all revealing and applicable to many situations, since the Veda abounds in injunctions and prohibitions on the performance of sacrifices, it ever rests in yajna. That is what is talked about. And then the last verse in this particular chain, very beautiful verse, and where Bhagavan has some choice words for those who disturb this wonderful cycle. Evam pravartitam chakram, evam pravartitam chakram, nanuvartayati hayah, nanuvartayati hayah, aghayurindriya ramah, aghayurindriya ramah, mogham partha sajivati, mogham partha sajivati. So this is a wheel set into action. There is rain on time coming, and there is things happening. There are people going back and forth, and then there are people praying. Prayer is giving a result. People are following the Veda, except what? One person standing out. I am not going to do this. Let's say the person says, I don't want to do this. Why don't you want to? I just don't feel like. I'm not going to be part of this cycle. I want to be separate. And in fact, it's not even being separate. First I'm going to be separate, then I'm going to disrupt the cycle. I'm going to cause problems. So if the wheel is going, I'm going to put a stick and stop it, so that everything that is resting on the wheel falls down. So that person has no right to do that. And so evam pravartitam chakram, this wheel that has been going on since what? Centuries, since eons, since the beginning of the kalpa it has been going on. Who are you to stop it? Na anuvartayati ihayah, the one who doesn't follow means they also are actively disrupting it. Then Bhagavan calls them aghayuhu. Agham papameva ayuhu yesham te aghayuhu. Their whole life is an incarnation of Papa itself and an expression of Papa. Aghayuhu. Indriyaramaha. The people who exist only for the satisfaction of the sense organs, no other job in the world. Mogham Partha Sajivati. Hey Partha, O Arjuna, their life is totally useless. Bhashya we'll see next time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.